bad, bold, or brilliant brands. Bad, bold, or brilliant brands. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to present you guys with a couple of case studies, and I want you to know your opinion to see if this case study is bad, is it bold, or if it's brilliant. All right. So the first up is, you guys may have heard this from H&M. Jessica, you may know a little something about this, but the coolest monkey in the jungle hoodie. Right. So if you guys aren't familiar with this, H&M released an online ad featuring a black child wearing a hoodie with the text, "Coolest monkey in the jungle." It's obviously sparked outrage, as the term monkey is historically been used as a racial slur. Give me your thoughts. Is this bad, bold, or
Bold and
brilliant?
bad.
Bold and
Because
bad. Why?
one,
Why?
it's just a lack of understanding cultural nuances and like no research. It shows that perhaps there's no diversity in the decision making team for their marketing teams. And it's just kind of like no one stopped and said, hey, is there a sensitivity issue here that we should address before we put this out? So it was bold because, well, great to know that maybe they don't see color so good, but it was also bad because it's like you live in a bubble if you didn't know that that was not going to go over well. 2 thumbs down.
Yeah. What are your thoughts, Auntie? 2 thumbs down. That's it. That's about your thoughts, Auntie.
I just think it was bad. It clearly indicated that they didn't have diversity in the room to review their content, and they didn't have good checks in place to check basic creative. This should have been easily by somebody in their group, and the fact that nobody noticed it, again, indicates that there's diversity in the room, or that they're not empowering people to speak up when they need to speak up.
Yeah. And next up is Zara's insensitive mannequin campaign. Zara released an ad featuring mannequins wrapped in sheets, which critics say resembled images from war zones. The ad was perceived as insensitive in light of the ongoing global conflicts. What are your thoughts? Is this bad, bold, or brilliant?
Bad, and it was bold because it was so insensitive to what's going on in the rest of the world. And I do get like fashion gets a huge, terrible reputation for being in its own little bubble of superficiality. And I thought that this was just so distasteful and so just not on par with being aware or reading the room, the global room at that, for a brand that's all over the world. So I would just say it was bad.
Yeah, I have to agree.
Yeah, it's the great. Yeah, you know what? Just contrarian view here. I think ultimately it could be more bold, because I don't know. I think there are having, women in sheets, that's a part of different cultures. So I feel like it could just be a representation of that. Granted, I do think I could see why there's an issue with it and how it can be considered insensitive. But I would say this is probably more bold than the blatant attempt that H&M just had with the coolest monkey in the jungle. Right?
If the
So that would be my
background
take on
wasn't
it.
rubble. I think if they just had women in sheets and it was like togas, which nobody's wearing, but that's fine. If the background didn't resemble like rubble and like sheetrock that was broken apart, I definitely would think it was more bold, but it was just kind of like, what are we doing here, Zara? We're in hypersensitivity time right now. So
That's
like,
true.
you really can't afford to get things wrong. People are
That's true.
extra sensitive.
Fair enough. Fair enough. And our last one is the Bud Light's Up for Whatever campaign. This happened back in the day, but what happened is Bud Light actually ran a campaign with bottles featuring the slogan, "The perfect beer for removing no from your vocabulary for the night." It was seen as promoting irresponsible behavior and even encouraging sexual misconduct. What is your thoughts on that? Is it bad? Is it bold? Or is it brilliant? I guess.
Yikes. That's all I have to say about that. I mean, I think that it also demonstrates that in certain organizations, they might be hyper aware of one subculture, right? In this case, maybe a bro culture, et cetera, without recognizing the broader context in which it lives, right? And I think that, to Jessica's point, the thing is that we live in not only a hypersensitive world right now, but also one where we have to understand that everybody's coming from different experiences and cultural backgrounds, and it is not a message that's going to live inside the bubble of your core audience. It is a message that no matter what is going to be scrutinized by people across all sorts of different communities, and particularly for a brand like Bud Light that has a high visibility, you would think that they would want to be more aware. To me, the thing that we have to keep in mind with our brand equity is that it's easy to be knocked off of your pedestal, and then it is very difficult to pick up the pieces. If I were any of those brand managers, I would have really thought about okay, is this something that's going to destroy my brand or be a really bad look before I send it out the door?
I also think it could have been brilliant because they know their customer. I don't drink Budweiser. I don't know anybody who drinks Budweiser. When I see people drinking it, I'm like, you would drink Budweiser. So it's also kind of like, in a sense, perhaps they wanted to let their demographic know that we made a beer just for you. And if it didn't tank their company and if they didn't see their sales drop, then perhaps it was brilliant for them because it turned off anyone else who was like, you know what, if I'm a more conscious drinker of beer, then I know for certain I'm not going to go with them. And that may have been great for them to say, we just want to cater to our audience.
Yeah, well, they did receive backlash on social media from customers calling the
Definitely.
slogan tone deaf, right? So they removed all the bottles of circulation and issued an apology. So that was that, right? Well, listen, I enjoyed the conversation
Thank
with you
you.
guys. Please let the audience know where they would be able to reach you or find you. I know, Zanti, you have a book that you're promoting and some upcoming webinars. Let us know where they can find you and how they can get in touch.
Sure, yeah. The book is Data Driven Personalization. It is out right now in bookstores everywhere and online. You can learn more about me and my work at zontiho.com, and our team at Convince and Convert is convinceandconvert.com, and I have a companion podcast to the book called Data Driven Decisions, which is available on our website.
Awesome, awesome. And Jessica, I know you have at
Yeah.
Luxor and Finch Services, and you have some recent publications. Let us know what you have going on in your neck of the woods.
You can go to Luxor and Finch and find out more about our workshops and about the peer-to-peer shopping platform that I'm building. And you can follow me on social, I guess, at _Jessica_Veronica_. And yeah, I would love to chat.
Awesome. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I am your host, Jonte Delane, founder of Digital Delane, a full-service digital marketing agency where we help to bring new brands, campaigns, and ideas to life. Thank you for tuning into this episode of The Brand Behavior. We hope you gained some valuable insights into the psychology of consumer behavior and, of course, how it influences our marketing strategies. Don't forget to subscribe to our podcast on your favorite platform and visit our website, thebrandbehavior.com. If you enjoyed this episode, please leave us a review and share it with your network. Until then, see you next time.